Oceanic life is in danger. The increase in global temperatures and the rising carbon dioxide levels in the ocean are destroying aquatic life at a rapid pace. Climate change is leading to coral bleaching, a decrease in biodiversity, fish migration, drowning wetlands, and ocean acidification. As the ocean temperatures rise, the ocean can no longer hold as much carbon dioxide, which creates more carbon dioxide to stay in the atmosphere. If there is more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, then the oceans warm even more, creating the inability of the oceans to hold more carbon dioxide, which leads again to the increase of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. This process continuously repeats itself, causing a very harmful positive feedback loop to oceanic life. The ocean had a pH level of 8.2 before human activity, but now the acidity of the ocean has increased by 30%, creating the pH level to increase to 8.1. If humans continue to emit carbon dioxide at the current rates that we are, then by the end of the century the acidity will change by 100 to 150%. Increased ocean acidity will lead to habitat loss and a disruption in the growth and reproduction of sea life. We will lose over 50% of the world's coral reefs in the next couple decades if we don't make changes to prevent ocean warming and acidification. A die-off in species, such as seagrasses, can lead to the release of millions of tons of carbon dioxide, contributing to the ocean warming and therefore the increase in carbon dioxide in the atmosphere.
Main chemistry behind issues that coral reefs are facing. These coral reefs have been stable for hundreds of thousands of years, and 90% of fish rely on these reefs for algae and other photosynthetic organisms that live in them. So together with these organisms and the fish that surround them, coral reefs are responsible for up to 70% of oceanic diversity. So this is an important part of freshwater and saltwater ecosystems. So we can't really risk losing these coral reefs. So one of the processes, natural process that the ocean uses is ocean acidification. But we've seen as there's an increase of atmospheric carbon dioxide, these have led to an increase of carbonic acid that's created in the oceans. And this has drastically reduced the acidity of the ocean over time, or reduced the pH, making it more acidic. And what this does is it destroys the calcium carbonate shells that a lot of marine organisms live in. So this is a big issue, and by 2050 corals are expected to be completely bleached or nearly completely bleached, up to 90%. Another factor leading to this is compounds like oxybenzone. Oxybenzone is found in a lot of skincare products, especially sunscreen. And what this oxybenzone does is it makes coral bleach at lower temperatures, and it also stunts the growth of young corals. Oxybenzone is a very important UV absorbing chemical that's widely used in sunscreens. And what countries have done to prevent this damage to coral reefs is put a ban on this chemical compound. Countries like Palau have banned this as of 2020. It will result in retailers paying a $1,000 fine for selling oxybenzone containing products. So this is a controversial issue because people need UV protection for sunscreen to avoid the harmful rays of the sun, but up to 14,000 tons of it is being dumped in the ocean and bleaching these corals. So this is a major issue that we need to deal with.
As previously mentioned, ocean acidification is a huge threat to oceanic life. With oceanic temperatures also on the rise, the UN released an alert that many of Australia's coral reefs are expected to die off by the year 2040. The acidification of the ocean has already caused the bleaching of more than 2/3 of the Great Barrier Reef, which is the largest coral reef in the world. But all other reefs are facing this risk if these patterns continue. Off the coast of Australia, there is the Great Southern Reef, the Shark Bay, the Ningaloo Reef, and the Gulf of Carpentaria. These reefs are essential for a majority of sea life, including several endangered species. A large portion of these reefs and bays has already been destroyed by a massive heat wave in 2011. The loss of these reefs only further contributes to climate change, as there was a release of 9 million tons of CO2. In addition to the importance that these ecosystems have for sustaining oceanic life, They contribute greatly to Australia's economy, with over $7 billion annually, showing that we are in no position to lose these reefs and the benefits they provide.
Basically, climate change is leading to the destruction of oceanic life, and particularly the destruction of coral reefs. The coral reefs are dying out due to the rise in ocean temperatures due to the global warming. Furthermore, if the climate continues to change, it will result in disturbance to the ecosystem, and that would result in destruction to the way humans interact in the environment. Some possible solutions to climate change and the destruction of coral reefs are: if we conserve more water, then we will not produce as much runoff and wastewater that run back into the ocean. We can conserve more water by taking less showers or not showering for as long as we do. We could also we can also take steps to reduce our carbon footprint, and not only would that help with the destruction of coral reefs, but it will also help with the problem of climate change and global warming as a whole. Furthermore, if we planted more trees, that will also reduce the amount of runoff into the ocean. And yeah, it's many more solutions that we can do. It's just the fact if we actually do the solutions. It's easier said than done, basically.